Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Code Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation today continues from Suhi Mahalla Panjava, composition of the fifth Nanak, Guru Arjan. Sadhsang Tarai Bhai Sagar. That's the opening line, and it speaks to Bhai Sagar, fear, the ocean of fear, not just an emotion, but here it's pointing to existential fear and how to deal with it. So the first line is Sadhsang Tarai Bhai Sagar, in the company of the Sad. So what is Sad? Sad means to perfect something, and it denotes for us awakened wisdom. So in the company of the Sad could be awakened wisdom takes many forms. It could be embodied in a person. It could be embodied in text. So in the company of awakened wisdom, Sadhsang is the ocean of fear crossed over. Tarai Bhai Sagar. Har Har Naam Simar Ratnagar. This is the instruction. Return the mind's awareness. Har Har Naam Simar. Return the mind's awareness to Har Naam, wisdom of the Har, reality itself. So, essentially what Guruji is telling us is Bhai Sagar is the psychological sea of fear that we are living in. It's characterized by a sense of insecurity, a sense of anxiety, fear of loss, failure, rejection, and ultimately death. So there's this constant need to protect the self, and we feel quite inadequate. So sadhsang is what is needed. We need to look at our situation with wisdom. And that is why the Guru says, keep bringing the mind back to awareness of that wisdom. So simmer is recollect, remain mindful of, and repeatedly return to. And a Ratnagar is a treasury of jewels. So Nam is not simply a word to be repeated. It is a reservoir of insight, of steadiness, of meaning, and inner resources. It's the essence of our being which becomes available as consciousness because we are not conscious of it right now. We become conscious of it. So our attention, desires, fears, standards of worth are shaped by other egos, the community we inhabit. So we need to ask ourselves, what kind of company is forming me? What is shaping me? Is it intensifying my sense of comparison, for instance, to others, my sense of consumption, my fears, my anxieties? Ask yourself that, and then turn to Ratanagar, that ocean of jewels, inexhaustible richness of Nam, which resides within you. Turn to that. And then at the center of the Sabad, the Rahao, this is repeated again. Simara, Simara, Jima, Narayan. Repeated returning of the awareness to Narayan. Here, the Narayan is used instead of Har. Narayan is the sustaining refuge, what stands above us, the shelter. Nar is humanity, human. Ayan is the refuge, the shelter. So the same, it is synonymous with Har for our purposes. So the Guru says, when you bring your awareness to that Narayan, which is that treasury of jewels within, you come alive. Simar Simar Jiva. Dukh rog sab bin se. Sorrow and disease recede from the mind. That is to say, the sorrow of this anxiety, it recedes. And that happens through the channel of the Guru, the wisdom principle that lives in us. We have to tap into it. Guru Pure Mil. And then what happens? Paap Tajayan. Paap, sins, but what are the sins of? The sins are of distorted perception. And what is distorted perception? It is the ego. So it is that accumulation that we call of sins, if you will, of distorted perception that has shaped us. So by repeatedly returning your awareness to Narayan, you are able to dissolve that accumulation. So simmer is not repetition of a word again. It is continual reorientation of consciousness, again and again, bringing oneself back from anxiety, from ego, from resentment to the larger reality in which we actually live. So, pap is also not sins in that traditional sense, but misalignments, which Haume interprets as life. So the Guru is saying that I become fully alive when I continually return my awareness to the reality that sustains me, the wisdom that sustains me. And in stanza 2, the Guru describes that as being the highest state. Jivan Padvi Har Ka Now. Returning to that awareness is the highest state of being truly alive. Jivan Padvi, that throne of life, that state. Mind and body become clear. Man, tan, nirmal. What are they cleared of? The accumulations of the accretions of the ego. And Sat Swao, the truth, your truth, becomes your taste, your purpose. So Jivan Padvi, station, level of life is elevated. It is not some kind of reward. You just discover another quality of consciousness. It is available here now when you live in Harka now. So living in awareness is itself the reward. It is that higher state of life. And so Guruji is repeating again, bar bar. आठ पहर पार ब्रह्म ते आइयै पूरब लिखत होए तां पाइयै. Through the 8 watches of the day and night, let awareness remain centered in Parabram. Here he is using the term Parabram. Free exchange of terms, whether it is Narayan, whether it is Har or Parabram, it's really pointing to that same thing, that same ground of being. Purab Likhat, what was originally written. What that means is prior formation. That is our destiny. That is where we have to go. So this sustained awareness doesn't arise out of nowhere. It becomes possible because the groundwork for it, Pura Balikya, has already been laid within us. We are structured to achieve that state of awareness through repeated going back. Sarana paye jap deen de Allah. Jap, realization, saran. And that happens, gurmil happens by surrendering the ego, sarana paye, entering the refuge of that compassionate one. Nanak sache santaravala, sache sant. Again, sant could indicate an awakened mind. It points to our historical gurus, the Sikh, the Guru person. It also refers to a tranquil mind or that wisdom that is established. So the Guru here is saying Santa Ravala, which means dust for the feet of the Sant. Most likely, the pointer is to the Guru person. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.